The Lindbergh Schools Special Board of Education Tax Rate Hearing 1583 is now called to order. And we will have our presentation of the estimated 2023 tax rate. Mrs. Scheibel.
As our board president stated, this is the annual hearing for our tax rate. This will be the tax rate that is set for tax bills that will come out in December. Yay. We get the assessed valuation from St. Louis County, and the tax rate is based on dividing the gross revenue needed by the current assessed valuation. Our rate has to be set by 10/1 each year. We've been getting several updates from St. Louis County. I think they have a new computer system. We know how that goes. Our computer software program, so we know how that goes. Several different assessed valuation numbers. One update was yesterday, so I'm still waiting for the state auditor's office to confirm that. But this is a reassessment year, so we saw an average, saw increases in all categories of our assessed valuation. As of yesterday's report, residential real estate's up about 15%, commercial property is up about 10%, and personal property is up again about 8%. So when assessed valuation grows, we're required to roll our levy back to hold the taxpayers harmless, but it'd be able to generate the same dollars last year as we did on that property. But that is a hold harmless agreement with the state of Missouri so that taxpayers are not harmed by large growth in assessed valuation. So our estimate today is that we will roll our levy back 9 cents from last year's total of $3.92 to $3.84. But I said I'm going to wait a little bit till the end of the month and see if I get more information from St. Louis County that changes that. But our values continue to roll. And this is the time, if anybody has any questions, can stand up and ask them about the tax rate.
I do want to make, for the audience, I do want to make a comment. The residential rate at 275, that's the minimum in the state of Missouri. That's the Hancock Amendment. We actually are a little bit below that, and we roll that back up because the state says you have to be at 275. That's the state minimum. So we can't be any lower than that on our tax levy for residential.
Yes. And so over time, it's kept going up, so we had to keep rolling back, but that's as far back as we can go per state statute. That's the minimum levy for residential in the state. We've been at that rate for 2 years now.
Do any board members have questions? Or? Okay. And then, as Joelle said, 3.0 hearing of citizens and petitions regarding our tax rate. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to come forward to address the board? Then we will move to adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn Special Board of Education meeting 1583?
So moved.
Motion by Andrew.
Second.
Second by Christy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 7-0. Board meeting 1583 is adjourned. That one doesn't count. We will now move to our regular Board of Education meeting 1584. It is now called to order. Dr. Lake, do we have any changes to the agenda?
We do not.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Matt.
Second.
Second by Megan. Sometimes you're very quiet over there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be louder.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. And now we will move to our Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd like to invite our students from Sparing Middle School to come forward and lead us in our pledge this evening. Ellie and Costa. And tonight we are recognizing Sparing Middle School, and I will turn it over to Dr. Lauren Boger, principal of Sparing Middle School, to present our recognitions this evening.
All right, good evening, and welcome to Sparing's Recognition Night at the Board of Education here in Lindbergh Schools. I'm Lauren Boger, the principal at Sparing, and tonight I want to honor a few individuals that have really exemplified our Take Flight core values. So if you are unfamiliar with what that looks like in action, it is action in being trustworthy, ambitious, kind, empathetic, friendly, loyal, displaying integrity, generous, hardworking, and tolerant. So that is an acronym for Take Flight. And it also aligns directly with our Lindbergh Life Success Skills, which you'll see on our fabulous t-shirts here as a whole wide school, district-wide goal. So first up this evening, I would like us to recognize, and a round of applause, please, for Kylie Yamnitz. Come on up, Kylie. So Kylie was our support staff of the year last year at Sparing Middle School. She was with us for 3 years, and she is starting her 4th year at the high school this year. She is now in the attendance land at the high school. But for Kylie, she really has demonstrated what it looks like to be empathetic and kind to everyone that would enter the building, and I know still continues to do so at the high school. And she really, with those life skills, shows us what collaboration and communication looks like. And also, if you ever need a pro tip on what it looks like to have a fab spirit day, this is your girl. Ask her about rock and roll bingo when you get a chance. Kylie, would you like to say a few words?
I do, actually. Okay, first off, I absolutely enjoyed my time at Sparing and always felt like an important member of the team, whether it was being called upon to help in an emergency situation or being relied on to keep the flow of the building on the busiest of days, or participating in a team event at Rock and Roll Bingo, which was a fave highlight over the last year. I always felt needed, valued, and appreciated. I also made some lifelong friendships that I cherish. That's what I love the most about my time at Sparing. So thank you for honoring me with Support Staff of the Year.
A certificate for you, recognizing you as Support Staff Person of the Year, and then we have a gift certificate for $30 for our online spirit. So there you go. We're going to do a quick picture with them. Yes. Over that way more in front of Plain and Arch, or Beth will get
Congratulations, Kylie. And Kylie has her family here with us as well. Next up, a round of applause for our Teacher of the Year last year, Emily Hines. Hey, Emily, how you doing tonight? So Emily is our library media specialist, and when I think of Take Flight, none other than comes to mind than being ambitious and generous. If you haven't been up to the library in the last few years at Sparing, she has been super ambitious. We actually have 2 new design labs going in. Thanks to Emily. If you've ever seen an interactive lesson in the library with ELA, ask her about Poetry Slam. She is all about it and transforms that space and is so generous with her time in supporting all of our teachers at Sparing Middle School. And she really knows what it means to bring out the agency and identity skills of all of our students with Lindbergh Life Success Skills and all the clubs and organizations that you also sponsor. Would you like to say anything?
I did not plan anything like Kylie, but I really absolutely am in my dream job and absolutely love everything I do at Sparing. And I love the freedom that Lindbergh School District gives me to make sure that the kids are involved and everybody is involved, and that I got to know staff like Hillary Fiala over here, who is one of my star 6th grade teachers that I get to work with and collaborate with. So that's me in a nutshell.
Thank you. And Emily has her family here tonight as well.
Emily, we have a certificate as well recognizing you as Teacher of the Year, and then also a $30 gift certificate for our online store. So congratulations. We are going to do a picture. You guys go that way, Lauren. You moved over too far. I know we need an X on the floor.
Thank you, Emily. Next up, we get to honor our 2 outstanding 8th graders. So it has been a tradition at Sparing for us to honor 2 8th graders of the class. This year is 28, yeah? So first up, please give a round of applause for Costa Lacic. So when we think of Take Flight, none other than work ethic and you displaying integrity and being very trustworthy is actually what came up from your teachers. So you were nominated from your teachers and selected by administrators for this award. And so when I think of this about you, I know that you're on multiple athletic teams, but outside of your sports and athleticism, it's really what's shining at Sparing is what you bring to the classroom and just how honest and empathetic you are of everyone that you work with. So you should be very proud of tonight's recognition. What's your favorite middle school memory?
I'd say just like when I came into 6th grade, like looking at all the kids from all other schools coming into Sparing.
Very nice. So 6th grade memory. Give it up for Costa one more time.
Wash it once, it might hit you right here or something. Anyways, congratulations. Let's go over and get a picture. You want that one, you keep it. If it shrinks up, send me an email and I'll get you that.
Congratulations. His family is here as well. Hi, family. All right, and next up, please give it up for Ellie Kellenbrink. Congratulations, Ellie, on being nominated as an outstanding 8th grader at Sparing Middle School. You were nominated for Take Flight qualities of being very trustworthy and also super hardworking. So something that came up with your teachers, I don't know if you're aware of this, but they really thought of being hardworking and being goal focused. So they gave examples of you never giving up and really setting high goals and expectations for yourself. And it was a really cool story that they were able to share about your time at Sparing. Can you tell us a little bit about your favorite memories at Sparing?
Well, one of my favorite memories is last year in ELA class. We had just finished reading the book The Outsiders, and we had a fake trial, and I was one of the lawyers, and I ended up winning, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was.
Congratulations, Ellie. And if you are some of our board advisory students, if you are here this evening as well, is anybody here tonight? Come on up, get your picture as well. Adam Spree. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sparing, for attending this evening, and we usually take a short break for all of the people here who came for the recognitions and not the board meeting are more than welcome to, stay or go. 5.0, adoption of the estimated 2023 tax rate. Preceding this regular board meeting, we held our special hearing on the tax rates for 2023, where Joel Scheibel presented the 2023 estimated tax rates, and citizens were given the opportunity to come forward and address the board regarding those proposed tax rates. It is now time to vote on the adoption of the estimated 2023 tax rates. Do I have a motion to approve the estimated 2023 tax rates as presented?
So moved.
Motion by Andrew,
Second.
second by Mike. Anybody have any questions? You don't want me to say tax rates 6 more times? All right. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. 6.0, citizen communication regarding agenda items. There are none this evening. 7.0, communications. Megan, calendar of events.
Yes, thank you. So some of the district events we have for this month are our Technology Board Advisory meets on September 25th. On September 26th, we have our next speaker series, which is Reading Success Plans. There's no school Friday, September 29th, and this is also the homecoming parade and football game, so we would love to see people coming out to support that. National Principals Month begins October 1st, and Custodians Day is October 2nd. The Facilities Board Advisory meets on October 4th. We have our Sunday Night Lights, which will be at the high school October 8th. Student Life and Finance Advisories meet on October 12th. And then lastly, our next board meeting will be back here, October 17th. We will also be holding a workshop as well as our regular meeting, and both are open to the public.
Thank you. And at this time, 7.02, report of meetings. If anyone has any state, other meetings, or parent group meetings they would like to report on. I know many of us attended the all-staff rah-rah day prior to school starting. That was fun. And then a few of us visited schools on the first day of school as well, just to kind of say welcome back and hello to everybody. So.
Yeah. We also had our first Student Life Board Advisory meeting, and what I found really interesting, so Dr. Joe Lawson was leading it, and it looks like right now we'll be focusing on making sure that our students are successful in the hard transitions during the year, so specifically between like ECE to elementary to middle, middle to high, and how we can not only help students but families kind of navigate those transitions, and I just thought that was a really exciting thing to be talking about.
And I was just mentioning to Jen that all of our board advisory meetings have started, our strategic planning has started, and so events are ramping up. And so we may not have much to report back, but we are attending a lot of meetings.
Great, and then we will move to 7.03, announcements. Beth?
So as all of you know, we began live streaming our board meetings during the pandemic when we were meeting on Zoom. That was a way for us to allow our community to participate in board meetings virtually. And we continued that after we resumed to being in person. But we've been monitoring the data from each board meeting. So we've tracked how many people are watching virtually. And not only that, but how many people are watching the recordings of the board meetings on YouTube after the fact. And the data's been really interesting to watch, and we've just seen a pretty steep decrease in the amount of people who are watching live. Right now, I'm the only one watching live tonight. So just to give you a couple of numbers, we had meetings last year during the 22-23 school year on 20 different dates. So 2 of those meetings had 0 viewers. 15 of those meetings of the 20 had fewer than 5 live viewers. And only 2 of those meetings had more than 10 viewers, one of which was the candidate forum, which could easily continue. We have the capability to stream live, so that's something that could continue based on demand. But after evaluating that data, we looked at how many people are watching the same meetings after the fact, and our views on YouTube typically exceed 100, sometimes exceed 200 or 300 views. So we know people are watching the meeting recordings, but our data has really shown us that they're not watching live. So to that end, we are going to, beginning next month, we're going to continue to record every meeting like we've been doing, but instead of streaming it live, we're going to record it and then we're going to post it to YouTube the next day. beginning next month. That will be our procedure. It will still be available on board docs. It will be available on our district YouTube channel and all the other ways we share that out. But we're really seeing that that's where people are watching the meetings, and so we think that that fits with where we are today. Any questions?
And if I'm remembering correctly, when you said that some of the meetings were less than 5, that like 2 of those less than 5 are still within like this room?
Usually Colin and I are tuned in, just so we can make sure the live stream is operational. So I don't know if Colin's not watching tonight or, but there's only one viewer.
Sure, okay.
So,
But that's
yes,
just
so
another-
even those numbers that I sent you were a little bit inflated.
So you mentioned the ability to come back to live for those high demand scenarios. If somebody, or if a group of community members want something live streamed that they see coming up, how do they request that?
Well, I think that in order to be consistent, what we're proposing is that all of our regular board meetings would be recorded and then added at a later date. When I mentioned the Board of Candidate Forum, as it's on, that one, it was a little bit higher, but we have the ability to do so, but from a consistency standpoint, it would make sense to adopt a consistent practice.
Okay, yeah, I'm 100% in agreement with
So,
the posting the video the next day. I was just curious. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, thank you, Beth.
thanks.
7.04, review of upcoming Board of Education meeting agendas. Ms. Better.
Thank you. So again, we meet back here Tuesday, October 17th at 4:30 p.m. for our board workshop, and then our regular meeting we will hold at 7 p.m. The board workshop includes some Compass updates, and then some agenda items for our regular board meeting are Board of Education candidate information session and candidate filing dates, the first reading of the 2024-2025 school calendar, official enrollment report, and Crestwood School is scheduled to be here for recognitions. So again, both of these meetings are open to the public and patrons are encouraged to attend.
Thank you. There are no Board of Education member appointments this evening, so we will move to 7.06, MSBA Board Report.
Welcome to the September edition of the Missouri School Boards Association's Board Report. We begin with a look at the release of this year's state assessment data. The preliminary results released by the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education show overall statewide scores are mixed when compared to the prior year. ELA showed small improvements in elementary grades and in high school, and small declines or flattening in middle school. Mathematics scores showed increases in most grades and courses. Science scores maintained with the exception of an increase in biology. Regarding the results, Commissioner of Education Margie Van Dieven said the data emphasizes the need to continue deploying state and local resources to best support and promote student learning.
If we're going to embrace literacy, let's do it all the way, right? And this, we know what we need to do there. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on early learning. Let's keep focusing on great teachers in every classroom, growing our principals to support those teachers, making sure we have superintendents who are hiring good principals to support the teachers, training our local school board members. These are things that I think we have all agreed are primary to making sure we move the needle.
With schools across the state back in session, don't forget to share the excitement of students, staff, and the entire public school community with your local legislators. Invite your legislators to celebrate the return to school with a day touring your school district. MSBA President Ruth Johnson says that activities such as legislator visits are just part of year-round advocacy efforts.
I truly believe that advocacy begins with relationships. That is something that I began my first year of being on my local board, and it's vitally important that you reach out and get connected with your elected officials at your city level, your county level, your state level, and federal level even. Beginning those relationships before you need to have those hard discussions is what's crucial.
In addition to building relationships with legislators, building relationships and networking with peers is a great way for school board members to learn various approaches to common challenges. With that in mind, MSBA's fall regional meetings are back. Fall meetings return in each of MSBA's 17 regions this September and October. These events give local board members the opportunity to learn and network with colleagues from their part of the state. Sign up for your region's meetings and come ready to play. MSBA's leadership development team has created an engaging and educational challenge where members will team up and work together to answer school board scenarios. To find the date and location of your region's meeting, visit the MSBA website. And it's not too late to register for the 2023 MSBA Annual Conference in cooperation with the Missouri Association of School Administrators and the Missouri Association of School Business Officials. The conference will be held November 2nd through the 4th in Kansas City. The event will once again feature numerous breakout sessions and workshops, many presented by school leaders from districts throughout the state, along with a great lineup of general session speakers. The conference will also feature the Education Expo, the Student Showcase, and much more. Visit the MSBA website for more information. That's it for this month. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and we'll see you in October for the next MSBA Board Report. As we wrap up, here are some closing thoughts specifically for board members from MSBA President Ruth Johnson as we start a new school year.
I would just say to other local board members, enjoy what you do. This is a journey that will change you, and you will see public education in a completely different way. You will see that students are truly what matters most. And everything that we do as a board member should revolve around, is what we're doing, is what we're deciding, making it better for students to learn every day.
Special reports. We'll start with cabinet updates with Dr. McKinney.
Thank you. Our HR committee did meet this month, and we reviewed the monthly personnel report. We looked at first of the school year enrollment, and we talked about some staffing issues as well as a preview of the policies that are to be considered tonight for first reading.
Thank you. And Joelle?
Our committee met last week and we talked about tax rate. So that took up pretty much the whole time, as it's an interesting subject that for people who don't realize that we roll back and things like that. Also had some inquiries from them. They're all gearing up for to talk about the bond issue, and they're ready to serve. So it's a good meeting.
Thank you. And Dr. Sparks?
Well, Megan stole some of my thunder earlier talking about student life. It was a really engaging conversation. In fact, so engaging as we talked about the different transitions that we are continuing the conversation in next month. So we got into small groups after doing some activities with the whole group, got into small groups to talk about the things that are going well in transitions, the things that we want to see, and the opportunities. So a great start in terms of brainstorming what it looks like as you transition between preschool and kindergarten, and then, as Megan said, 5th to 6th grade, 8th to 9th, and then beyond our high school environment as students transition into post-secondary. So as a reminder, we've got student voices, a number of student voices on these board advisories. So not only are we getting the parent perspective, but we're also getting the student perspective to continue to improve our services to kids. Teaching and learning, our focus this year is going to be on college and career readiness. So what we typically do at the first Teaching and Learning Board Advisory of the year is go through some just big ideas around curriculum, design process, and then because we are now, we have a waiver with the State Board of Education as a part of the Success Ready Students Network. One of the things we're really trying to do is help people understand what are those goals that we have through this work. So we did an activity with Teaching and Learning where board advisory, where everyone really gave us input on how we're doing related to the 8 competencies that define what is the Success Ready Students Network and where our opportunities are for growth. Interestingly enough, then we repeated that activity with our principals today, and we're able to compare what our families are saying to what our principals are seeing in the building, and use that to kind of drive improvement. And then finally, the Technology Board Advisory. We've been working on an elementary matrix for technology skills last year, so that is in implementation mode this year. So got some feedback from the Technology Board Advisory, specifically in the area of keyboarding. One of the things that's coming up is how do we embed keyboarding skills for our younger students. So did some brainstorming about how we problem solve that, and then also looking at emerging technologies and things that they would want to really investigate over the course of this year.
Thank you. And now we will go to 8.02, our student representative report. Adam Spree.
All right, so I'm sure as most of you know, we did start school recently, so it's definitely been an adjustment for a lot of our students. I know that first week was a little bit rough, but it seems like a lot of students, especially at the high school, have kind of found their stride, so it's definitely been an improvement from that first week. But just some LHS recognitions, national merit titles recently came out, so our semifinalists, commended students, and our national scholar program titles. So it's definitely really exciting to see our students being so successful and having the opportunity to win various merit scholarships. Like I know at Mizzou, if you're a semifinalist, you can get a full ride. So that's really exciting. Last week we had a Fox High School versus Lindbergh High School canned food drive. It raised over 6,000 pounds of food. So it's amazing to see our whole LHS community getting involved in that. While we did lose and Dr. Cochran had to wear the opposing team's colors at the football game, it was great to see so many students turn out for that. And then just a quick appreciation for our LHS Junior Board. They have the Foundation Community Breakfast coming up. I know they've been working tirelessly on that, and I know many of you do attend that, so if you see one of them, give them a shout out, thank them. They've been doing so much work with that. Some upcoming events, we have our Powder Puff game, which many of you know about, and then of course homecoming, so the parade, which numerous student organizations are participating in, and then our game and dance. This year's theme is A Night in Nashville, so very exciting. And then the bulk of my report is going to be about my student representative board advisories. So 3 weeks ago, I believe, we held our orientation. So I really thought going into it, it would just be kind of me presenting, talking about it, end of discussion. But we ended up doing a question and statement session for around 30 to 40 minutes, I believe, so it was great to get all that feedback, and we're definitely going to take that into consideration. Some of that will be in your guys' Friday packets, and we'll also be providing that to some upper administration. And then 2 weeks ago, I had my sparing advisory, so it was kind of my pilot advisory, and it was really exciting to see just how mature and professional these students are. Like, for example, even in my English class, like, I think some of the students at that advisory can hold a conversation and discussion even better than some of those AP students. So great to see that, and I'm incredibly excited to go to Crestwood next month, just because there's so many different students from so many different backgrounds, and that's one of the things I really love about these advisories. And then I would like to recognize our members. We had one show up tonight. They do great things, and even the ones that weren't in attendance provided some great feedback over a Google form that we sent out, and that's all for me.
Thank you, Adam. So we will move to 9.0, action items by consent. We have action items by consent 9.01 to 9.08. Would anyone want to remove any of these items for individual consideration? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve consent items 9.01 to 9.08?
So moved.
Motion by Megan.
Second.
Second by Matt. Does anyone have any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. We have no individual action items this evening, and we have one for the record. The for the record report this evening is the Title I program evaluation, and you can review that and contact Dr. Sparks if there's any questions or comments. And we will move to 11.03, review of board policies AC, BBBA-1, BBF, and EF for first reading. These policies are presented as a first reading, and you can review prior to our next meeting and reach out to Dr. McKinney with any questions. 11.04, resident-initiated agenda items. We have one this evening, the conclusion of the International Baccalaureate Program, and this item was requested by resident Rachel Keeler. So Ms. Keeler, if you'd like to come to the podium.
My name is Rachel Keeler, and I am a 1992 graduate of Lindbergh High School. My husband and I have a son who is an 8th grader at Truman Middle School and a daughter who graduated from Lindbergh High School with the class of 2023. Our daughter is a freshman studying elementary education at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I have 2 reasons for requesting to be added to tonight's agenda. First is to thank the board and the Lindbergh School District for their many years of support for and association with the IB International Baccalaureate Program. Second is to recognize and celebrate the 2 recent graduates who earned the final IB diplomas that were awarded in our school district as the 2022-2023 school year marked the end of our district's association with the IB program. I would like to first recognize the 2 class of 2023 graduates who earned the IB diploma, Chinmay Kumar and Olivia Sulkin. In a recent Student Growth and Achievement report at a BOE workshop, the graduates were referred to as 2 IB diploma candidates. Because their class was the final group of students that were eligible to earn an IB diploma, and because of Lindbergh's long history with the IB program, I feel that it is important to have a reference in the minutes of a Board of Education meeting that the candidates completed the program and earned the IB diploma, and for them to get name recognition. Chinmay Kumar and Olivia Sulkin will forever have the distinction of being the final 2 Lindbergh High School students to earn this high accomplishment. My second reason for wanting to speak tonight is to offer my sincere thanks and appreciation to the Board of Education, to the Lindbergh School District, to the countless educators who taught IB courses and mentored students through the program, and the administrators and honors and IB coordinators who supported the program in our district over the past years. While I do not know the precise date when Lindbergh began its association with the IB program, I know that I was fortunate as a 1992 Lindbergh graduate to have the opportunity to take many IB courses and to earn IB certificates and college credit in French, English, and history. To provide some background, at a January 2021 BOE workshop, the board was presented with examples of the growing challenges of meeting the requirements of both the IB program and the AP Advanced Placement Program. It was ultimately decided that it would be advantageous to future students for the district to choose one program and focus on expanding opportunities through the AP program, such as the AP Capstone course, and by adjusting the focus of several of the courses in math and science to better meet the needs of Lindbergh students. I understand why the district chose to end their association with the IB program, and I am excited about the opportunities that continue to develop with the AP program. Because of my own proud memories of the IB program and because of the dedication and determination of this year's IB diploma recipients, I felt that it was important for me to request an opportunity to speak about the conclusion of our district's association with the IB program and to recognize the final 2 Lindbergh High School IB diploma recipients, one more time, Chinmay Kumar and Olivia Sulkin. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Thank you, Ms. Keeler. We'll move to 12.0 recess. There is no need, so we will move to 14.0 adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn board meeting 1584?
So moved.
Motion by Andrew.
Second.
Second by Megan. Sorry, I didn't ask for a second. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Board meeting 1584 is adjourned.